Kobe, Leonard,
Leonard here.
Lewis,
Who's here?
Martin,
Martin present.
Molina.
Molina present.
Okay.
As I get one.
Sanchez,
Sanchez present.
Chepro.
Chepra present.
Thank you. Silva.
Silva here.
Okay, Strathman,
Stratzman here.
Burgess,
Burgess here.
Tepe,
She go to driving.
Happy here.
Wallace.
You can't have
Present.
sun drive.
Who else is here? Winnicky.
Present.
Okay, and Miss Bates, did I get you?
Present.
Thank you. You have a quorum.
Very good. Ms. Lewis, could you please do the pledge? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Lewis, while you're standing, do you have an invocation to do
Yes.
today?
Can I borrow that?
We're going to have her blessed today. Today, we're going to have two. And I think with our recent conversations that we've been having, that we could use a lot of blessings right now here in Kane County to make sure that we stay safe and healthy. So Anita, please.
Yes. So, is this on? You can hear me? Okay. So I have, the pleasure of introducing you all to the City of Aurora Poet Laureate, which I'm just excited that Aurora has one. And she's kind of an idol of mine because poetry, I love to read it, but it's something that I'm very afraid of writing. So I contacted her and asked her if she would please do a poem for us. And let me just read a little bit of her bio. I have to take the glass off. Karen Follett Christensen. She was born and raised in Chicago. She's a 1968 graduate of Mather High School and a 72 graduate of Northern. And she's been writing poetry since her freshman high school days. She's lived in several of Chicago's south and west suburbs and way out west as far as Missoula, Montana. She adopted Aurora as her hometown when she accepted a job for the City of Aurora Community Development in 1999. Since her retirement in 2012, she has volunteered with a number of local organizations and is the co-founder of a writers group targeted specifically for poets, A-Town Poets, Poetics. In January of 2020, she was appointed by Mayor Richard Irvin as the first poet laureate for the City of Aurora, and along with 3 deputy laureates, continues to serve in this capacity. And you can find her daily poems on her Facebook page. And you can actually, if you'd like, sit down so that you can actually just listen and not have to be at attention. Thank you.
Morning.
Morning.
When Anita and I were talking, and some of you know me, my role or mission as laureate has really been to make people not be afraid of poetry. And our writers group, I think, is a group of people that gets together to really try to encourage creativity and encourage vulnerability. The poem that I'm going to read to you this morning is Don't Let the Bad Guys Win. It's easy to think that the fate of the world plays out in full view on a gigantic stage, us against them on a broad, mighty scale. But the truth is that small acts daily accrue in the battle that's fought between evil and good, living as if life just goes on and on, disregard for each other. A slow, steady trickle erodes the veneer of what makes us civil. It's unlikely that big bombs will bring us all down. No dramatic maelstrom or flashes of light, but lack of intention will mark our demise. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
Could we get a copy of that, please? Oh, that'd be great. It would be wonderful to have a copy of that to refer back to. So for our second blessing, Ms. Winnicki, please.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair and fellow board members. Today we have Larry Durst joining us. Larry is an acolyte and an usher at St. Charles Episcopal Church. He also teaches Sunday school, and we welcome Larry.
I would invite you to stand if you are able.
Do you want to lift the microphone up a little?
Sure, I would. Dear wise and loving one, we ask your blessings on the people who have been called to lead this county in which we live and work and play. Remind them, because we all forget from time to time, especially in the noisiness of what passes for political debate today, that they are not only leaders, but also servants, and that it is their responsibility to serve the common good of all. Remind them that no matter where we live, everyone is our neighbor, and that through the ages, the leaders of the people have been called to respect and protect the least of those among us, our children, the elderly, the poor, those who are hungry, those who have no homes, the strangers and immigrants in our midst, those who are alone, those who are forgotten. Grant these representatives the wisdom and courage to know and do what is right and good and true. May they speak out when it is time to speak out and listen patiently and receptively when it is time to listen. May they always be guided by the spirit of community, by the spirit of justice, and by the spirit of love. This we pray in the name of all that we hold sacred and holy, all that we hold good and right and true. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jerry.
Oh, that was
Beautiful.
absolutely spectacular. Thank you. Thank you both. Oh my gosh. I'd like to have a copy of that too, please, for reference. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's nice having words of wisdom
beautiful.
ahead of you as you're about making important decisions and to refer back to when you're in troubled times. So now, may I please have the approval of the September 13th, 2022 minutes? Are there any changes to these minutes?
Case move.
Thank you, Mr. Caius. Second,
Winnicki?
yes.
Second.
Now, are there any changes or amendments to these minutes? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll. Ellen?
Ellen.
Bates?
Bates, aye.
Berman?
Yeah.
Brown?
Yes. Davis, yes.
Ford? Raz?
Raz, yes.
Gums?
Gums, yes.
Iqbal?
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon?
Yes.
Caius?
Guys, yes.
Mr. Copey, did you arrive? Leonard?
Leonard, yes.
Lewis?
Lewis, yes.
Martin?
Martin, yes.
Molina?
Molina, yes.
Sanchez?
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro?
Shepro, yes.
Silva?
Silva, yes.
Rathman?
Rathman, yes.
Surges?
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe?
Tepe, yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
Winnicki? Yeah, passes. Now, I know we have a couple of comments, public speakers. Mr. Mendelson, are you here? Would you like, so we can withhold until that period of time? Thank you. Ms. Botke?
Kate Bhakti, Geneva. Last month, several friends listened to the live broadcast of this board's meeting and told me they
I'm
heard.
sorry. My apologies. Is it to agenda or off agenda?
I'm sorry, it's not agenda.
It's
I
not
don't
agenda.
think, yeah, I
Okay.
don't know.
3 minutes.
Okay, thanks. I'll start over. Last month, several friends listened to the live broadcast of this board's meeting and told me they heard a man right after my public comment say, "God save the king." I thought they were joking. Why would any American say that, much less a county board member, county employee? Do they know American history? Whoever that was, thank you. Because those 4 words in response to what I had just stated pretty much validated everything I've been saying for the past year. GPS says I'm in Illinois, one of the United States of America. Did the nuns teach me wrong when they said Americans don't bow to kings and queens? That we are not subjects to the throne? That the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution freed us from the heels of monarchs? In America, we the people are the sovereigns. We get our unalienable rights from God, not any king, pope, government, or corporation. Nothing can stop what is coming. I have it on good authority. Americans by the millions are bolting for the exits out of Babylon, this corrupt, evil hydra headed by traitors and pedophiles, or worse, wolves in shepherd's clothing, who've infiltrated America using puppets willing to trade their souls, dignity, integrity, and voices for fame,
fortune, power, and silence. Over 10 million Americans and growing have had enough of this nonsense you call the representative government, but is anything but. You have selections, not elections. Jesus warned, you will know them by their fruits. Yep, those who treat us like slaves, not sovereigns. Those with big egos and God complexes who think they have the authority to lord over us, pick our pockets, tell us what to do and what we can't do, slap handcuffs on us, strip search us, park tanks on our lawns, fly drones over our homes, infringe on our rights to keep and bear arms when we did nothing wrong. Don't blame me, they said, that's the policy. I just follow orders. I say, tell that to the judge, not the corrupt judge who works for the corporation and whose supreme oath is not to the Constitution, but to the Bar Association, AKA British Accreditation Registry. There is indeed a higher judge, a higher authority, a lawful judge or panel of tribunal judges that respects the laws of the land and the fact that we the people are not slaves to criminal bloodlines, but sovereigns, kings and queens as God created. Justice is coming is music to the ears of the 99%, constantly kicked around by the policy makers and policy enforcers with fake markets, fake money, fake food, fake news, fake schools, fake laws, fake governments, and even fake constitutions. Again, resign. Dissolve this corporation, the County of Kane Incorporated. It is British or Roman or Chinese. It's certainly not American. Perpetrating fraud against the people post-2016 is like playing Russian roulette. This isn't a game. The flag with black stars has already been displayed by the commander-in-chief. Pay attention or pay the price for your ignorance and choice. He who exalts himself will be humbled. He who humbles himself will be exalted. God bless the innocent. And yes, the guilty who repent. Thank you.
Always sobering words. All right, something a little bit more on the recognition side of the good work that has been done here on our county by our volunteers. I'd like to spend a moment.
Microphone, please.
I would like to just spend a moment to recognize a city partner that has been working with Kane County's Health Department and for the benefit of all of our residents, not only here in Kane, but I believe in every continent, perhaps except Australia. And this is the city of Batavia with their support and assistance with the mass vac site. Now, I extended apologies to you, but it gives me a double opportunity to recognize the efforts that you have shown in support of keeping most of Illinois healthy. I'm going to be presenting a plaque to you at the city council meeting. It's not quite ready, but it's going to be coming. It's very special. So I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to share it with you. And it'll be fun to go to the city council anyway. I haven't seen them in a while. But in the meanwhile, we do have a recognition here. So could you please stand, Chief Hansen, Chief Mazur, and our mayor, my mayor. So here we go. In recognition and appreciation of the city of Batavia, whereas the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted the lives of Kane County residents, threatening the health of many with over 154,190 confirmed cases and 1,172 deaths in Kane County as of October 6, 2022. And whereas multiple vaccines were developed and made available to the public that reduced the risk of serious illness and death, whereas Kane County was in need of a location that would allow for the administration of vaccines to a large number of residents in a safe, secure location with public transportation and suitable parking, and whereas the city of Batavia provided assistance and resources to establish the Kane Vax Hub in March of 2021 at 501 North Randall Road in Batavia. And whereas, you ready? 114,433 doses of the vaccine were administered at the Kane Vax Hub, the most given in the state outside of Cook County, protecting many residents from Kane County and beyond. Now therefore be it resolved that Kane County Chair Corinne Pirog formally recognizes the city of Batavia, including the Office of Mayor, the Fire Department, and the Police Department for their ongoing support to help keep Kane County residents protected from COVID-19. This is recognized at the meeting of the Kane County Board this October 11th, 2022. So.
First of all, thank you very, very much. This certainly wasn't expected. I want to specifically acknowledge, I have Sean Mazza, who is my police chief, and Craig Hansen, who is my fire chief. And they were key players in this whole situation because quite honestly, we really didn't know what we were getting into when we got into this. And as you can imagine, there were several, numerous, I'll call it numerous times that these two departments ran by these two gentlemen got called out there because somebody went irate or went, was upset, whatever. So some people fainted and we had to call ambulances. So it was a demand on the city. This was a very unique situation of how this happened. As most of you know, this was a Sam's Club that was operated by Walmart. And this was one of the many that they chose all of a sudden one day to announce with no warning, they were shutting it down that day. And so I wasn't alone. I called the mayor of Naperville. They lost theirs the same day. The mayor up in Wheeling lost his the same day. There was a whole bunch of them that were just taken out of service. And so we sat there with a vacant building for some time. And then this situation came along and I don't think anybody really knew from the state on down what we should be doing and shouldn't be doing, but we had this need to get these shots distributed and we need to have some location. So this one, the county board chairman called me and said, we're looking at this location. I said, well, if you look at it, it's somewhat central to Kane County and we can get a lot of people in here and there's certainly a big parking lot. And so we made contact with the realtor who was owning it. And they said, oh, yeah, you want to do it. I think they charged us some rent. But then I said, well, the city of Batavia controls the utilities, the water, sewer, and electric, and we will donate that to support this to keep the costs down on the county. So away we went. And I want to just say, I have the opportunity to know a number of mayors in the area in other counties. And I've had several say to me, boy, Kane County really had it together. We had a madhouse and we didn't know what we were doing or who was to go where or who was to do what. And we were able to get the whole thing up and going and ran, and the 114,000 people, I'm very pleased to hear that number. I mean, it probably saved a life or two at the end of the day for what we did. But I think most importantly, this shows the cooperative spirit that can exist between the county board and the city governments of the county. So hopefully we've set a standard and a model here. So if something like this happens again, you're going to be in a position to step forward in whatever town it is and whatever. We got a model that we can show people that we really did do something that really did benefit. And I sure want to thank Chairman Pearl and all of you on the county board, because without your support, and we kind of made this up as we went along and just did it. And it was government acting in the right way at the right direction at the right time. And when you do that, there's no politics involved in it. It's just for the public good. And I think we can all hold our heads very high that what we did here was that act. So thank you. I mean, she's got another photo up. He's going to cure cancer next.
We're saying it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think so, yeah.
And I'd like to make one small edit. I was so excited. It wasn't 1,000,000 deaths, it was about 1,000.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank
Thank
goodness for
goodness.
that. You'd have a lot of farmland available. No, I didn't. All right, so next. We have a couple of wonderful recognitions for service to the county with the Historic Preservation Commission. Would you like to present those?
Good morning, Mark Van Kerkhoff, Kane County Development Department. And just by way of brief introduction, in the mid 1980s, late 1980s, the Kane County Board initiated some actions that no other county in the state had done. One was to initiate a structure of every farmhouse, barn, rural structure, farmstead in the county. Second was to develop a plan for preserving our rural character. And thirdly was to seat a Historic Preservation Commission, which recommended the adoption of the first historic preservation ordinance adopted by a county in the state of Illinois. This morning, we are going to be asking you to help thank and honor two members of that commission that were from the very first in the late 80s and served since then and have been a huge support for our historic preservation program. I'm going to introduce Julia Tabong. She serves on our team in the development department as a historic preservation planner. She supports the work of the commission, supports our many landmark owners in our historic district, as well as since we have these ordinances in place, Kane County is a certified local government for historic preservation with the state of Illinois. So thank you, Julia, and I'll let you introduce our special guests and the special recognitions. Thank you.
Good morning. You all want to stand up? Today, we want to thank our Historic Preservation Commissioners, as Mark said, that had served from the beginning. Today, we have Margene Becker here, Mrs. Margene Becker. She's here representing her husband, Larry Becker, who sadly passed away over a year ago now, and also Mrs. Barbara Alexander. You want me to read? Okay. Whereas Larry Becker began his volunteer service to the county as a member of the Historic Preservation Study Committee from 1987 to 1988 and the original Kane County Historic Preservation Commission on June 14th, 1988, providing 34 years of service to the citizens of Kane County in Illinois. And whereas Larry brought a wealth of knowledge of building construction, as well as the history of Burlington and Northern Kane County to the Historic Preservation Commission. His passion for history made him a consummate student, attending seminars on cemetery preservation and on Historic Preservation Commissioner education, bringing his knowledge back to share with our commission. Whereas during his tenure on the commission, the county designated 45 landmarks, 1 historic district, and 4 rustic roads. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Kane County Board recognizes his contributions as a member of the Kane County Historic Preservation Commission for 34 years and desires to extend their gratitude for his diligent and supportive civic service performed in the preserving of the historic resources of Kane County.
Get another.
Now, in recognition and appreciation of Barbara Alexander. Whereas Barbara Alexander began her volunteer service to the county as a member of the original Kane County Historic Preservation Commission on June 14th, 1988, and has retired from this position after 34 years of service. Now, just a sidebar, Barbara told me that she actually was on the study committee and has actually more like 40 years under her belt. So just wanted to of service to the citizens of Kane County. Whereas Barbara brought a strong preservation ethic and architectural and historic knowledge to the Preservation Commission. She was an excellent liaison to the residents of Blackberry Township, providing them with information and assisting them with questions about the county's historic preservation program. And of course, during her tenure, there were 45 landmarks, 1 historic district, and 4 rustic roads designated. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Kane County Board recognizes the contributions of Barbara Alexander as a member of the Kane County Historic Preservation Commission for the past 34 years and desires to extend their gratitude for her diligent and supportive volunteer efforts in the preserving of historic resources of Kane County.
I just like to say thank you to the board. And I just said to Mark, it sure would be nice now that COVID is over, if you could do those bus rides, because that's when people got to take the tour and see all of our landmarks. And I was number 3. The first 3 were on Bliss Road. So the next bus tour, stop and I'll wave.
You gotta love history. You just gotta love history. Mr. Shepherd, that's one of the things I enjoy about you being on the board the most is your knowledge of history. Truly, it's always very good. So now something a little bit more serious. We had 2 board members who've recently passed away.
Plus 1 more.
And 1 more, but we're going to recognize that individual separately, if we may, following our agenda. So if we could have a brief moment of silence for Frank Miller and Sylvia Leonberger, who both well served our board. Good. I did not know Frank. Did anybody know of Mr. Miller? Yes, Mr. Berman.
Well, he certainly did a superb job as chairman around our board. I think he was dedicated to the Aurora community. He certainly has been remembered by many. Remember, he appointed me to the Fox Valley Park District Board way back in 1989, I think so. A long time.
And Mr. Leonard.
Yes, I knew Frank. He was a civic servant and a wonderful man, and we regret his passing.
Oh, absolutely. And I know, you knew Sylvia?
Yes, I knew Sylvia Leonberger. She lived in Aurora for many years. She moved away a number of years ago, but she was one of the people who would always help with anything that was needed for the Aurora Democrats or for the city of Aurora.
Did anybody else know Sylvia? Yes, of course you did.
So I first encountered her when I was quite young, had a different hair color. And there was a referendum going on and her and her son showed up and they put in countless hours educating people on this referendum. They had an opinion, but yet they were very open as to what they thought about the education. And that's how I remember her. All throughout all her years, she was always there to give her opinion, but also to put the facts out there and make things aware to people where maybe they wouldn't have normally cared, but because of her passion, a lot of good things happen in Aurora. So she's very missed.
I have one more memory of Sylvia and her son. They would work the Kane County Fair booth every year. They would sit there day after day after day, year after year after year. So I mean, that's just one example of the kind of, support and participation that they always did.
That makes me want to chime in that every year that she was at their booth, she would come over and say hello to Mr. Kenyon and me at the other booth. It was always a nice to visit with her and to work with her when I was the attorney for the board and she was serving.
I knew her.
He was always cheerful.
Always cheerful and always committed to the causes that she believed in, 100% committed, and would fight like heck for them. So now we have something else, one more proclamation, and before we get down to our business. This one, I think everyone is going to enjoy a little different, and I'll bring Mr. Van Kerkhoff up for this one.
Sure, yes. One of the blessings of working and serving the county and the county board is the other members of other departments who are so eager to share their expertise and ideas. One of the outcomes of the 2040 plan with the different departments, health, transportation, land use working together, was our teams from the different departments meet regularly to, we call it the Kane County Planning Cooperative, just to share what work we're doing, look for opportunities for grants, that type of thing. Recently, Claire Ryan, who's our new recycling coordinator with Environmental Resources, asked our team if we celebrated the great Midwestern Apple Crunch. And we hadn't heard of it. So we looked at it and saw it as a great opportunity to promote our local orchards. So I'm going to recognize Claire Ryan, who couldn't be here this morning. And now I'm going to turn over to Matt Tansley. Matt Tansley is on our planning team with the development department. He primarily staffs our regional planning commission, but also is works with our local food. You've seen him with some of our local grants. And he put together a lot of the information this morning. So Matt Tansley.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Madam Chair. We wanted to take this opportunity for Kane County to participate in the Great Lakes Great Apple Crunch. This was a program that was originally open to schools and was really a way to engage students in fresh foods, nutrition, and kind of give them a hands-on experience. But it's since been opened up to community organizations and businesses. So it's an opportunity for us as a county to participate. But particularly, I just wanted to call some attention to Kane County's apple orchards. And there are three that are pretty well known and recognized in the county, including Kuiper's, Gobert's Farm, and Windy Acres Farm. And so to participate, we do have apple samples from each of those three orchards here today. So feel free to take one and participate in the Great Apple Crunch. The official date of the crunch is this Thursday at noon, but anybody is welcome to participate at any time during the month of October. So we just wanted to recognize those orchards for their economic contributions and as agritourism destinations too, drawing people from outside of the county and just getting a lot of good exposure for Kane County's food and agricultural sector.
So we've all been to these apple orchards? Yeah.
Been to all three of those.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Roz speaking. Yeah, Kuiper's Family Farm is in my district, and I'm actually a high school friend of Wade's. But knowing them fairly well, I was astounded when they told me how many people that they had on their payroll. full-timers, a small group year round, but the part-timers was astounding. It was well over 100 people. And they have real flexible hours, and somebody can sign up for 4 hours here or there. And it's been great for the rural community out there.
I remember taking my son when he was just little there, and it was kind of a maze, and you pick the apples and get the pumpkins out on the field. And now it has become a very well-developed business industry. And it brings a lot of opportunity for Kane County to really showcase its agricultural industry and the agritourism. And what was the other one that was
And agritainment.
agritainment?
New word. Ridiculous word.
Truly agritainment. So it's a lot of fun. So are you going to
There's gonna be a proclamation read
proclamation?
by me,
Well, let's,
chairman of the Ag Committee.
well,
And
sir,
Kane County is the only county in the state of Illinois that has an Ag Committee. Think about that.
Oh, well.
Only
all
one.
right. So, it's amazing, actually.
I'll say, whereas the Great Lakes Apple Crunch is an annual celebration of fresh local apples in the orchards that grow them across Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Whereas Kane County is home to multiple apple orchards, including Kuiper's Family Farm, Gobert's Farm, Windy Acres, Heritage Prairie Farm, and others, which provide fresh, healthy produce and serve as community attractions for residents and visitors. And whereas apple orchards and the Great Apple Crunch are pillars of farm to school programs in Kane County and across the county, introducing students to fresh fruits grown locally and encouraging educational experiences through on-the-farm field trips to nutritional focused curricula. And whereas the purchase of local grown produce reduces the greenhouse gas emissions associated with the transportation of food. Whereas apples are the #1 most consumed fruit in the US, they're grown in all 50 states and generate $3.3 billion annual revenue. And whereas Kane County recognizes the economic benefits of apple orchards and their role as the agritourism destination, strengthening the interconnecting relationships between rural, urban, and suburban communities. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Kane County joins the celebration of fresh local apples as they participate in the 2022 Great Apple Crunch. It's kind of cool. You learn something every day at the county board.
you do.
The number of money and apples and, well, I like apples.
As do we all.
Especially free apples. Free is good.
Free is good.
Out an apple to everybody, please.
Madam Chair. Doesn't like being a Packers fan, but at the south end of Kane County, you go just a little bit south, there's a county called Kendall, and they have Keller's apple orchard, which is really nice for people who live a little closer to that.
Boo
But-
Packers.
Well said.
Since we're talking apples, we should all know that there's a wild apple tree next to the 12th tee box at Settlers Hill Golf Course. And the apples are at their prime right now.
Is that good for picking right now? So one thing that I heard about, we were talking about children who love apples, is there's one school district not here in Kane County. And they gave out apples all the time during the lunch hour. But because of the cost, as you mentioned, being able to do the distribution, not locally grown apples, they no longer serve apples. They now have processed apples, apple slices in packages rather than fresh apples. So having the opportunity to have our local apples and distribute it to our students is
Cliff, were
very
you reaching for
important.
the bag?
I think this, Madam Chair, this looks like a photo op of some sort. If we all hold our apple up. once
I
we get
think
passed
so.
out here.
I don't know if Julie is still here.
The Trojan War started with an apple.
If somebody has a phone,
I forgot.
do you have, Michael's here, he'll take photographs.
No,
Thank you.
that's how they ended it. Ended with John was gonna take the whole thing. But John. Oh, and there'd be a bag. Oh.
What kind is this?
Got us in this. Threw an apple one to the way. Yeah. For the ferris.
Wash They'll be eating that during the meeting.
Our
Hopefully of the night.
I rubbed it on my pants.
There you go. Yeah, you just
That's what
can't.
you used to do when you were a kid.
Close enough.
Gosh.
Then drink out of the hose. You'll be fine.
Delicious.
Don't worry.
Okay, ready? Everybody hold up your apple.
Hold your apple up.
Oh.
There we go.
Heavens, is this all we do
We're
here?
toasting with the
I was
apple.
looking.
Toast with the apples.
On the railing there, Julie. It's safe.
Where's Carl?
Okay, got it? Okay, very good.
Yeah, it's not as good a photo op as you're talking about.
Oh, Hilbert's fans for you.
I forgot
those
to take a
people weren't
screen
here.
share. Illuminate.
Okay, you ready for business now? We had that was a lot of fun. Let's get to our zoning petitions. Mr. Martin.
Madam Chair, we have one petition before us today, that being petition number 4599, regarding property in Blackberry Township, commonly known as 0 North 958 rather, Route 47. The petitioner is Deer Path Associates. The proposed use is a special use in the F farming district for a solar energy farm. There is no applicable regional planning jurisdiction. There were objections by neighboring property owners. The matter was approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals. The petition was approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals with 8 stipulations attached. It's important to note that stipulation number 7 regarding a mandated highway dedication was made by KDOT, and the Department of Transportation withdrew that request or that demand before the appearance before our committee. So as you vote today, you are voting to approve it with 7 with recommendations attached of 1 through 6 and number 8. The development committee did approve it in that line, and I move it as approval and request a second.
Fries second.
Second.
Is there a comment or question?
Question, so what
Yes,
is
Ms.
the
Bates.
right of way? If it's not 85 feet, what is it?
Can we? I don't know what the exact right of way is, but
60 feet from the center.
Yeah, I'm unable to tell you exact right of way that's out there. In this case, what we're doing is all of the zoning aspect is way off of the Illinois 47 right of way. And at some date in the future, there will be land use and development changes at that location, and that's when the right of way would be conveyed.
Yes, Mr. Rouse.
Yeah, this proposal's in my district, and I have met with the petitioner out near the site. It's right next to a gun club, a very large gun club that generates a lot of noise. The soils are hydric soils, so it's not a great place for development, but it's actually a great place for a solar field. And there's no residential development anywhere abutting it. Let's see here. The development was readjusted. The configuration of the acreage was readjusted as per request by the Village of Elburn when they reviewed it. And so it was pushed back a little bit, and this allows for future development along both Route 47 and Kessinger Road. So it's an ideal buffer project between that future commercial development and the gun club. And I recommend passage. I'll also add that the petitioner has reached out to the community to help with some public service organizations and to fund them. So it was a great experience meeting with them.
Very good.
Madam Chair?
Please. And then we have a couple
Mrs.
comments.
Caius, just really quickly, what were the nature of the objections from there were objectors, neighboring property owner? Just the nature of not specific.
Mr. Fries.
As I understand it, there's really no houses anywhere near this or development. There's 2 houses on Route 47. One is the parsonage for the church across the street, and there was a family just south of them. They're the only 2 houses there. It doesn't abut them. I think they had concerns about what's called glare from the panels.
Panels.
And that was determined not to be an issue and they haven't pursued it.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Tebby.
Happy here. How many panels are going to go in there and what's the anticipated output of the solar field?
I would,
I would ask Mr. Mendelson from the petitioner to address those two questions.
Can you hear me? Okay. The output is 5 megawatts AC. And the number of panels isn't set yet. That'd be done during final engineering.
Anticipated range?
I'd have to get back to you on that. We didn't speak to it during our zoning case, but I can follow up with you after.
What was the
I mean, how
question?
many are we putting, how
8
many panels
acres?
are we putting in? Isn't it?
We're putting in 8 acres. Couple.
And that's Ms. Bates is speaking.
And that's 4,800 panels?
I think so.
The special use area is about 41 acres. We anticipate the panel area covering about 36 of those acres. In terms of the count of the number of panels, I'd have to ask my engineering team.
The thousands.
It'll be a good sized field.
Thank you. Are we ready?
I think Ms. Winicki had a comment.
It was answered. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. Yes, Ms. Bates.
Yay.
That, all right. Thank you for that.
Chair
Yes, sir.
Sturgis, this is slightly off topic, but if anybody had an opportunity to watch 60 Minutes this past Sunday about the development in Florida, whose solar field is state of the art and was not affected. It was right in the eye of the hurricane and they didn't lose one solar
What
panel.
was the name of that city?
I don't remember the name of it. It was something ranch, right? Yeah, it was an outstanding article. So sorry, John.
Concludes the questions. May we please call the roll?
Yeah, please call the roll.
I do, but you know what? I want to confirm that the petition I have, Mark, is the correct one. It's just, it's got the special, they have 7 listed. So I'm assuming number 7 was taken out and
The 8th is-
renumbered,
The 8th,
right?
on our agenda, the 8th is on the second page.
Okay, let me just double check. For drain tile, right?
Number 7.
5 plantings, 60. Okay.
If the record could just note that it's all to be approved with exception of the highway dedication, which has been withdrawn by KDOT.
Which shall it be? Yep, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just want to make sure that my copy was correct. Okay, roll call. Yes, please.
Yeah, right.
Alan?
Alan, aye.
Bates?
Bates, yes.
Berman?
Berman, yes.
Brown?
Brown, yes.
Dabbist?
Yes.
Ford?
Ford, yes.
Yes.
Gums?
Gums, yes.
Iqbal?
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon?
Yes.
Caius?
Sunny, yes.
Mr. Copey, did you arrive?
Yes, ma'am. Copies, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Kofi, welcome.
Okay. Leonard?
Leonard, yes.
Lewis?
Lewis, yes.
Martin?
Martin, yes.
Molina?
Molina, yes.
Sanchez?
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro?
Shepro, yes.
Silva?
Silva, yes.
Rathman?
Strathman, yes.
Surges?
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe?
Tepe, yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
Winnicki?
Yes.
That passes unanimously.
Motion carries. The matter is approved. Madam Chair, that concludes our hearing for today.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. There are no appointments that I'm aware of. Are there any committee updates?
Madam Chair, Ford.
Yes, Mr. Ford.
Yes, I just want to remind everybody this Friday after our Jobs Committee meeting, we'll be having our second roundtable discussion on economic development.
Always interesting, especially in this economy we're having right now. Most interesting times. Yes, Ms. Bates.
The Energy and Environmental Committee did a field trip to LRS Municipal Recycling Facility, a great big place that was full of conveyor belts and robots and lights, camera action. And I think one of the important things about visiting a place like this is when people hear that we're not really recycling, you know, that you put things into recycling bin and they just get put in a landfill. It's not true. We saw the proof that what we recycle gets recycled. It gets put into big pallets, big, you know, big bins, and lives to fight another day.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Chris Caius, Administration Committee. Yeah, yes, I'd like to remind everyone and invite them to our next meeting in the administration, which I think may be tomorrow. Is that fast? Yeah. Jason Dwyer with White and Company is going to be making the presentation on our space needs and building conditions assessment report. So important for things for the future for our home structure and infrastructure.
And free apples.
Sorry, maybe not free apples.
Measuring sticks. Anybody else? No? All righty, let's go on to our consent agenda. Would anybody like to remove any item from the consent agenda?
Wow.
All right, okay, just double checking.
I would move to acceptance, the consent agenda.
You, sir.
This is record setting.
I second.
Second. Okay. And Davis, please call the roll.
Ellen.
Allen, I.
Bates. Berman.
Berman, yes.
Brown.
Brown, yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Ford.
As yes.
Gums, yes.
Iqbal.
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Caius, yes.
Kopey.
Sophie, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes.
Martin.
Martin, yes.
Melina.
Molina, yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Shepro.
Shepro, yes.
Silva.
Silva, yes.
Strathman.
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis. Tepe.
Tepe, yes.
Wallace.
Yes.
Winnicky.
Yes.
It passes.
Passes. Wonderful. All right, let's go down a roll here. May I have a motion a second to discuss and potentially approve item number 22-385?
Sanchez moves.
Thank you. Mr. Thank you. Any discussion? None. Clerk, please call the roll.
Allen.
Allen, I.
Bates.
Bates, yes.
Berman.
Berman, yes.
Brown.
Brown, yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Ford. Oz.
Yes.
Gums.
Gums, yes.
Iqbal.
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Caius.
Yes.
Kopey.
Yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes.
Sanchez.
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro.
Shepro, yes.
Silva.
Silva, yes.
Strathman.
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis. Tepe.
Tepe, yes.
Wallace.
Yes.
Winnicky.
Yes.
It passes.
May I have a motion and a second to approve item number 22-386?
Leonard moves.
Thank
Wonecki,
you,
second.
Ms. Winnicky. Any comments? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen.
Allen, I.
Bates. Berman.
Yes.
Brown.
Brown, yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Ford. Fraz.
As yes.
Gums.
Gums, yes.
Iqbal.
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Caius. Kopey.
Sophie, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes.
Sanchez.
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro.
Shepro, yes.
Silva.
Silva, yes.
Strathman.
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis. Tepe.
Tepe, yes.
Wallace.
Yes.
Winnicky.
Yes.
Also passes.
Thank you. May I have a motion and a second to approve item number 22-387?
Shepro moves.
Caius, second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen.
Allen, I.
Bates.
Bates, aye.
Berman.
Berman, yes.
Brown.
Brown, yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Ford. Fraz.
As yes.
Gums.
Gums, yes.
Iqbal.
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Caius.
Yes.
Kopey.
Sophie, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes.
Martin.
Martin, yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes.
Sanchez.
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepherd, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sir, Tepe,
Step yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicky.
Yes.
It passes.
Passes. All righty, that's the end of our consent agenda. I mean, off consent. I think we're going into executive session. Is that
Yes.
correct?
That's correct. We're going into closed session for pending litigation and settlement of claims.
Sanchez so moves.
Okay, very good. Please call the roll.
Okay, Ellen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
States I.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Yes, yes.
Copey. Mr. Copey? Okay, Leonard.
yes.
Oh, thank you.
Leonard, yes.
Okay, Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepherd, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surgis, Tepe,
Step yes.
Winnicky. I'm sorry, Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicky.
Yes.
That passes.
Very good.
Hey, everybody online that will be joining us in the closed session, please accept the invite into that session. Also be aware that until I give you the okay, everything that we are talking about is going out live to the public on YouTube. I will let you know when we were completely in the closed session. Thank you.
I don't.
Hey, our stomach's full of acid, man. But this doesn't have high fructose corn syrup, so that's better.
Yeah, we came through all right.
Better than being smart.
Sometimes.
We are still waiting for a couple of people to join the closed session.
Yeah.
In a row, we came out all right.
We can't give it to.
Really? Yeah. Yes. What the hell are you doing with the laundry?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that.
For Kane testing.
I'm still missing one person.
Yeah, you be the guinea pig.
But still.
Is there anybody currently hearing my voice that feels they should be in the closed session?
And we've got.
Burger Day, Tuesday? Huh? It is the $1 burger.
Okay, you are back in open session.
As well, that is for sure.
We're back in open session. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Okay, roll call again. Allen,
present.
Bates, Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown here.
Davis,
Davis here.
Ford,
Ford here.
Fraz here.
Gums,
Gums here.
Iqbal,
Iqbal present.
Kenyon,
Kenyon here.
Caius,
Caius present.
Gopi,
Opie's present.
Leonard,
Leonard here.
Lewis,
Who's here?
Martin,
Martin present.
Molina,
Molina present.
Sanchez,
Sanchez present.
Shepro,
Pro present.
Silva, Silva,
Silva is here.
thank you. Strathman, Surgis, Tepe,
Steppy here.
and Winnicke. Everyone's
here?
You.
Okay, have everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful, almost done. May I have a motion and a second to approve the settlement in the amount of $9,500 in case number 13CV 37487.
Caius, second.
Kaya seconds. Clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen,
Allen, aye.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford, Fraz,
Fraz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Kopi,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Pro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman, Surgis, Tepe,
Steppy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke. That passes.
Passes. Mr. Kenyon, please.
I'd like to move we adjourn and go out and face the sunshine.
Second, Mr. All in favor?
Apples.
Aye.
Aye. Have a great day, everybody.